Hey, Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome to Ara History Untold, where we're going to try to play, what I like to call the Thunderdome game. So we're going to play a random civilization. We're going to be playing on the Emperor, hardest difficulty in the game, on a randomly generated supercontinent with a maxed out number of civilizations in the game. And this is the true Thunderdome. So it just turns out that we rolled the Aztec Empire, so plus 25 security, plus 25 happiness in our capital after engaging in combat. So we want to be fighting a lot, and that just so happens to be what is going to be happening a lot in the Thunderdome version of Ara. So we get a 50% build production bonus towards government and military improvements. Our forces are 10% stronger outside of our territory, and we have access to the War of Annihilation. There are some downsides to playing as the Aztecs. We have the Perfectionist debuff, which gives us a 10% craft production debuff in all of our locations, which is not ideal. We are going to immediately, in our Great Hearth, which is our capital city's building, we're going to start by putting food and wealth into getting this feast as done as fast as possible so that we can plug the feast in here and reap the benefits to our happiness. I'm going to take my scout and start pillaging the local wildlife. The very first thing I'm going to build in my city is a workshop. And the reason I want to build a workshop is because the workshop gives me access to some really, really important things, namely the ability to make tools and baskets and stuff like that. Ooh, well, actually, it's probably more important for me to make spearmen. We're going to need a lot of spearmen. I'll start out by crafting 2 spearmen, and then we'll see where we stand. Oh, lovely, we found some supplies. This land looks pretty low in fertility, which means we might need a way to improve our fertility, but we're going to immediately start researching archery and looking for ways to expand and build our civilization. So we didn't get any amenity boosting things. We discovered a cache here. We got a candle. Well, we don't want to use the candle just yet. Let's grab this cache of supplies on the next turn. We did found a tribe down here, and we have a spearman added to the reserve. Our crafter is idle. Let's start making feasts, but this time we don't need to plug all the wealth in. We can instead just put this feast in here. This will give us a 25 flat boost to our growth, as well as plus 5 food and 10 happiness. That flat growth boost is really nice because the city actually grows quite slowly without it. So quite happy about that. Oh, we found a plow. That's useful. We'll grab this resource cache down here. We'll see where we stand. Our city is idle. We're 1 turn away. So I'm going to gather wealth for 2 turns, actually. Let me change this. I will gather wealth for 2 turns so that we can grab a claim and start building. I don't plan to deploy those spearmen yet. It's just always good to have the archers unlocked. And then we'll send you over to here to explore. City tier has increased, which gives us access to an expansion. Okay, the best place for a farm is right here in Oaxa. It is a 1 fertility region with 4 locations in it, so it's not ideal, but it will at least pay for the wood for those farms easily. And this capital city is going to struggle for fertility in a really, really big way. So the first thing I'm going to do is plop down a farm here so that we can increase the food's growth rate. The farm will give us 100% of the region's food as harvest production, but also a 3% city growth rate boost, which is nice. And if we build 4 farms in here, they'll all give each other a small harvest production boost. I'm going to go ahead and unlock animal husbandry as well, in case we can find horses. Horses are a really good material for fighting wars. Let's fight a bear. And we are likely to have to fight a lot of wars. But yeah, next up, we're going to insert a settler into the production queue here. We're going to quick buy it with gold as soon as we possibly can afford it. Fight that bear for me. Thank you. You found a feast and some coats. Awesome. Keep exploring. Found a polar bear. That one's probably going to be a little bit too hard for us to kill. But we want to look for somewhere where we can go settle once the settler is finished. Minus 10 happiness in the capital. I will take the minus 10 security because we don't need to fight right now. And the jewelry and ceramic pots are really useful. In fact, I believe we can use a ceramic pot. Well, at the very least, we could plug in a candle here. And that will get us a very tiny boost to our city knowledge, which should take us from a minus 25% science penalty to a minus 10% science penalty. And it did, in fact, do that. So that worked out. I can get a relationship. I can spend some money to get a relationship boost with a tribe. I will do that. We've also just got animal husbandry, giving us access to plows and butcher shops, camels, and all this beautiful stuff. In terms of technology, herbalism is always a really good one to pick up because it's the only time of the game you can get access to the apothecary, which can give you access to some really good early game materials, like, for example, perfume, which gives happiness to the city. Happiness is the foundation of production. Cleared a predator. Awesome. We can afford to shave a turn off the settler by paying 20 gold, so we will. We found a hostile tribe. Let's try to move out of there. We got a specialist over here. And where does the game think we should settle? The 2 food tile to the north actually does look attractive, so I'm going to move up in that direction. Unfortunately, that's right beside an aggressive tribe. And it looks like we're on an island on our own, which is actually really bad. Like, this is genuinely horrific. This is one of the worst starting locations I've ever seen in this game, which should tell you that I've seen some shit. This is re-roll worthy. Oh my god, that was bad. Okay, listen. I don't want to play an isolated game, so we're just gonna re-roll. It's fine. That was such a horrendous start. So instead, we're gonna be playing Zenobia, right? The Palmyrene Empire. Oh my god, that was horrific. A, I was in the tundra, and B, I was alone. It was like completely defeating the purpose of playing the Thunderdome game. So this time, we're gonna have merchants. We're gonna have better trading posts. Our prosperity is gonna be lower. We're gonna have housing in non-capital cities. We will be aggressive, which is good. What was the other ones again? And we have longer golden ages. Okay, so this is like an interestingly bad start. Very high materials, which means we could go spear rush somebody. Okay, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a feast, and we're gonna plug food, wealth, and wealth. And we'll start by building 2 spearmen as we did before. Let's go open that resource cache. Yeah, this is a way more reasonable, not isolated, not insane start. All right, we got a wheel. Can I even put a wheel into this thing? I can, actually. And the wheel will give me a 50% craft bonus. So we'll go from 7 production to 10. Perfect. Okay, we finished crafting a feast. That means we can plug the feast in here. We can boost the production from 7 to 9 because we're no longer taking as big of a happiness penalty. We don't need to use this wealth anymore in this slot, so we can save that money to be able to finish stuff faster. Let's get a 3rd spearman queued up. A beautiful woman has come to bring me tea. Oh my goodness. I love tea. Aren't you jealous now, viewer, that you don't have a beautiful woman who brings you tea? Okay, let's kill this wolf, because it might be materials in here. We found someone else. We found China. Nice to meet you, China. We got some food and stuff like that. Let's keep exploring. We want to know, A, where we're expanding, and B, who we're killing. You've become aware. Okay, there's Sappho, Greece. We have multiple spearmen added. Amazing. We generated a claim in the capital. Well, we must expand down towards this food area because we need that food. I'm going to come back and kill that tiger because I can see Sappho settled right in my face. So in the not too distant future, we can do a bit of a archer gamble and go straight for their face. So I'll queue up some archers to start doing that. And then we'll research animal husbandry. All right, tigers are hard to kill. And what I mean by that is they're likely to kill your scouts. So you need to be careful. Okay, we met another nation down here. This is Ethiopia. All right, I need you to stop and I need you to heal. You're healing inside my territory. The maximum damage this thing can do is 40, so it can't kill you anymore now that you've healed. There we go. We got a feast as well as some leather. We can heal. 12 turns until the city grows, which means we can get a border with Laodicea to conquer it. Let's grab a battalion. We're going to grab a wedge battalion of archers. No, I need another set of archers. Hold on. Let them rush. We'll rush out that archer. We'll keep producing archers nice and slowly. I'm going to take plus 50 wealth, plus 5 prosperity. That's good. That'll allow me to rush more stuff out. Minus 10 security in the capital. That's perfect. Perhaps later. There is animal husbandry. So we now have access to all of these animals that we can kind of exploit. I'm going to grab herbalism because herbalism is one of those techs. It only comes up here, right? This is the only time you'll get the apothecary. It's good to pick it up. Oh, China declared war on the Palmyrene Empire. That is a fascinating decision on your part, China. I'm going to go ahead and deploy a battalion, a wedge battalion of archers in Palmyra. So I don't know where China is, but I'll start searching for them now. We're mustering our wedge. We've deployed here. We're going to fortify. They might try to fight me in my capital, which would be a big mistake on their part because now they're just feeding me experience. Let's queue up another archer who we are going to rush out. Looks like we killed them, so we got the experience. Let's take a turn to heal. Greece is over here to the east. I would like to conquer Laodicea, so let's get into position to do that. We also have a archer that we need to rush, and we have a claim in the capital. Some good yields, food and wood and materials. Materials is for the war effort, so I'll grab some materials here. The city is idle, Palmyra. I think it always makes sense to build the watchtower. It costs 1 gold per turn, but gives defensive units in the city a lot of power. Plus 2 flat strength and 15 city security will make our city way better defended. I'm going to plug jewelry in here to get a nice boost to the city production. Now, I don't know where China is, but I'm going to declare a war of expansion on Greece against Laodicea. We'll declare the war and see if we can't jump in there and get an easy kill on that city. We'll deploy spearmen plus 2 archers and see what happens there. So hopefully they don't have any military in the area, because this is kind of like this is the dice roll phase of the game. It's like where things can go really, really wrong. Fermenting pits can be unlocked later. This can be unlocked later. I will unlock rope making. Rope making is useful. We're mustering an army here. We've got a big pair of units. Now they're mostly getting a lot of their strength from being inside a capital structure, which gives them plus 5 base strength. They are on the way, but I have a second army on their way down to help in Laodicea. I met America. Well met. I think you're America anyway. I'll take the happiness in all my turns, all my cities. I could lose timber for prestige. I will take that prestige because we need to get out of... The most important thing for us is to get out of this area down here. And war is going to be the best way that we do that. Particularly skirmish wars. Light skirmishing wars against a single city. Because they have a very low investment cost of prestige, but a very high payout in prestige. All right, there's an enemy coming. That's fine. It might be good for us to try to counterattack outside of the city. So I might try that. And indeed, counterattacking did actually work. So we should murk this guy really quickly. Because we have all of the archers in the world with a small line of spearmen at the front. Completely devastating them with just raw firepower. So they're going to take 84 HP in damage. We're going to take 42. It's a really, really good battle on our part. Beautiful. Now let's hopefully they can't get more reinforcements over there to disrupt the war. All right, we're winning. They are attacking our capital. That's fine. We planned for this. Victory in 1 turn. Yep, I know the city's under siege. We will fix that. Don't you worry. Nation met. Event. I'll spend some food. Right, victory achieved. I'm going to send you back to defend the capital. The one thing I really struggle with this game is how do I click on the other units on this tile? So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to tell this unit to go home. And this unit to go conquer. So just hopefully they get home in time to save us. They might not, and it might just be a dead game from here. But that's kind of how ARA works, man. Sometimes you just don't get home in time to save your capital, right? We were first rank at least. Whatever. I don't know what that means, but yeah, we had a couple false starts. It's fine. This is ARA, okay? This is trying to play ARA on the highest difficulty. This is what it's like. Random Civ, we jump back in. We just keep trying. Undefeated. Okay, now we got Tokugawa, Ieyasu. Nations that declare war on me get war weariness. My war weariness is reduced. Castles provide security. We build government and military buildings faster. We have strength outside of our territory. We're patient. We're bad at declaring war. We're sage. So we can take a much more defensive approach to this game. We're not going to be aggressive. We're going to be defensive. Let's play defensively, okay? I can do that. I can be chill. All right, we're Japan now. Game 3. All right, gathering hall, food, wealth, to try to build the feast faster, because growth is everything in the early game. Let's start exploring. Now, in this particular game, I'm going to go for a second scout, because that feels appropriate. Oh, we met Rome. Julius Caesar, nice to meet you. Let's go get that wolf. I will research archery first, because I like the idea of being well defended. Predator cleared. Let's clear out some of these one-turn predators as well. We've also met, I think, the Holy Roman Empire. Charlemagne, lovely. Nice to meet you, Charlemagne. We cleared this out. We got a nice thing. We do have a feast, so we can come in here and we can tell you to stop making feasts with extra gold. Just make it with a little bit of gold so that you can supply the city. And the reason that we do that is so that we can get the happiness up, which gives us a small buff to our productivity in here. All right, lovely. We cleared a wolf. We got some bonuses. We need to find a nice place for another city, so I'll start exploring around. Oh, hey. We met a Nicholas Copernicus, Poland. Hey, how's it going, buddy? I might settle next to the Luxembourg tribe. Let's fight this lion. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. Words that I typically don't say out loud. And Kyoto, I'm going to get started with a dwelling because I want that productivity. And I'll send this scout to the east. There's archery. That's good. So we can build archers to defend ourselves if and when we need to. We go animal husbandry because I like unlocking all these animals, as well as the plow. It's very useful. Explore down to the right here. Grab that wolf. We got a claim in the capital. We got a lot of things that we need to consider with this claim. The first thing that we need to do is to make sure that we get a nice farming region. And this 3 food, 1 wood region is a great farming region. And then we can get a great wood region to the north. So I'm going to go right there. It's all looking great. We're clearing caches. We're clearing predators. We've got this dwelling done. I'm going to spend money to finish the dwelling now. Grab that cache right there. Perfect. City no project. That's fine. I'm going to make an archer. You heal. We have an event. I can lose happiness. I prefer to gain happiness. Happiness is like one of the most important resources in the early game because it snowballs you. We're getting blocked in by settles, but that's kind of just part of the game when you're playing ARA. And we're much better if people declare war on us. So I think getting this archer out will be useful to fortify. I'm going to go ahead and research rope making next. We got an event. They want us to build a Colossus. That's fine. It's unlikely to happen. I'm immediately going to deploy an archer as a single squadron because he's going to be fortified in the capital. And then we'll get a settler out. And the second we have the money, we will quick buy this settler if we can. We met the Aztec. Yeah, this is where you can kind of see what I was talking about, where stuff gets squirrely. All right, we have the archer here. We're going to fortify them in the capital. That will make them just very, very good defensively. +5 food to all of our farms. Great. Sounds amazing, even though we haven't built any. We got an event in here. I would rather lose the security to gain the jewelry. That's my personal preference. Oh, a trade agreement with the Aztec Empire. That's actually super good. We found Roma. They got a lot of troops in here. Oh man, this game is This game is spooky. Now, the good news is we can't trade with the Aztecs here. We want baskets, we want jewelry, and we want tools. Although I can't get all of them. But I would rather get jewelries over tools. We put lithic tools in here. I think that's everything else we don't have yet. It looks like we met the Byzantine Empire. Hey, Rome, found your clone. Nation rankings available, so we should be bottom of this list. And we are. It's okay, we'll fix it. Listen, give it some time. Let him cook. Okay, my man is cooking. We're going to quick buy that settler. We're exploring the world. Now, where does the game think I should settle? Now, the game thinks I should settle over here. The problem is that would give Rome a really good reason to go to war with me. And we don't want to give Rome a reason to go to war with me when he has this many battalions. So instead I'm going to explore to the northeast. And then in order to make up for the fact that our food is pretty bad in here, I'm going to start by building some farms. These farms will not only support this city in terms of food growth, which it will need as it grows, but it will also give it a 3% city growth bonus, which will counteract the negative penalty to health that we have right now. In terms of research, I'm going to grab herbalism because it's one of the few techs that has a unique ability. And then we're going to grab Aomori because we need wood to fuel our farms. Farms use wood as upkeep. So that's worth considering in how we develop our empire. Okay, we don't have particularly good locations for cities, but this is a reasonable city location for gold generation. If I settle on this river mouth and specialize it for hunting, we could make a lot of money out of this city, which I think is what I'm going to do. This will be a gold generation city. So Miyazaki has been planted. In terms of feasts, we're going to give this city a feast. And we're going to produce jewelry in here, but we're going to produce jewelry slowly for a while. Do I also... No, this one can't accept those things. Now, the very first thing we're going to build in this town is a watchtower in order to protect it, so that we can build a single archer to deploy it here and protect it. Let's go for city happiness in here. That'll be a nice productivity boost. I could lose jewelry. I don't want to lose jewelry. I'm happy to lose relationship with the Holy Roman Empire to keep my jewelry to myself. The Holy Roman Empire will almost certainly be someone I come into conflict with. I have already found 3 of the Romes. 4 if you count Poland, which I do. Relationship change with the Aztecs, so war has begun. Okay, we got to be careful. We built a farm in Kyoto, so now this farm in here is inheriting the city's production, right? So it's getting a base value of 62, which is, I think, the city's production times 4 or something. And then it gets the production of the city again, so it's producing a bit of food. So the best way that we can get food in here is by A, building more farms, and B, growing the city. And the great thing is, more farms helps grow the city. So these farms will become exponentially more profitable if we build 5 of them in the one place, which we will. However, the next thing that we really need is a workshop, because a workshop will build a very, very important thing for us. So I'm going to plant a workshop here. I'm going to put a basket into this dwelling. Oh, wait, no, I don't need workshops because I have the dwellings. Okay, I'm purchasing baskets. Let me cancel this. Instead, what we're going to build is we are going to build dwellings in the capital because each dwelling gives us a 3% city production boost. And we can put a basket in this dwelling that gives us +1 production. So this is a great way. We'll get a 10% production boost citywide, +3 base production, which will allow the city to be give it a lot of tempo, basically. Next up, I don't see us having any grapes or anything. I will go for grain storage. Relationship changed. Keep exploring, good sir. I think I'm going to press C to auto-explore with these guys now. Not because that's good, but just because I'm bored of micromanaging them now that I'm into my 3rd game. We're using the jewelry, but we're getting exactly as much jewelry as we need to maintain. I'm going to spend a little bit of money to finish this dwelling faster, and then I'm going to queue up another dwelling in the city. And then for the sake of keeping the city well defended, we will queue up a watchtower, because the watchtower will give +2 strength to the archer that's positioned here, as well as increasing the city security, which will lower the average force strength penalty and also potentially lead to us getting some golden age points. Let's use our money again. Oh, can't quite afford that one, that's fine. A claim has been generated over here in Miyazaki, so I want to claim at least these 2 forests here because there's a lot of money in them. In particular, Tohoku is quite good. Less Shikaku, but more Tohoku and Chugaku. Got a trade agreement with the Byzantine Empire. We met another empire over here. What's our score at? We're still bottom of the rankings. That's okay. Hopefully, we'll be able to figure out ways through that. I can lose some timber, but gain relationship with the Luxembourg tribe, and that will be enough money for me to rush the dwelling. Perfect. Let the stones be laid. Another dwelling has been finished, so we can plug one of these juicy baskets in there. Boom. Getting us another +1 base production. So you can see each dwelling is now giving us 1.5 production. That's a huge amount of production when you consider how little production we have right now. And don't forget that production gets applied to every improvement in our empire, or every improvement in the capital city. So it starts to snowball quite quickly. I will spend wealth for relationship and prestige. Exploring is a great way to get prestige. I would like to I'm going to give Rome a gift of something I don't need. I'm going to give him 5 ceramic pots for 3 relationship. What's our relationship at right now? I need to be higher for us to get an alliance, because if I can get an alliance with them, they won't declare war on me, which is good. We completed another dwelling in Kyoto, so we can come in here, we put another basket in that dwelling, and now we're up to 17 production. Like, that's fantastic. So we're getting 3% from each dwelling, okay? 3% city production, and we're getting +1 production from each dwelling. So that's a really good return on investment here, because that's gonna percolate through our entire empire in terms of the productivity. Okay, so there's grain storage. I'm gonna immediately go for bronze working. We're gonna abandon those 2 technologies. We don't need to research everything in an era. It's not important. I mean, it would be nice to research everything, but it's not required. We want to rush. Let's rush that watchtower out in the capital. And then we would also like to recruit another archer so that we can deploy them into Miyazaki as a defensive unit. Speaking of Miyazaki, we're going to go for 2 dwellings in its capital region. That'll get us a 6% production boost in here, as well as 2 places that we can plug baskets in for another +1 production. So that'll make the city a lot more productive. I'm going to quick buy this archer in a single turn, and then I'm going to immediately deploy the archer in Miyazaki as a defensive squad. Now, coming over to Kyoto, the big thing we need to focus on in here is growth. We have plenty of housing room, but not a lot of growth. We need growth, which is going to require a lot of food. So if we plant now, farm, right? We filled this whole region with farms. That will get us a lot of early game food, a lot of early game growth, which will pay dividends in the form of the more you grow a city, the more claims you get, the more experts you get, the more amenities you can use, the more science you get, the more city production you get, the more tax you can get. So grow is the name of the game right now. So I'm going to queue up a bunch of farms. I can lose happiness everywhere. I don't want to lose happiness because happiness is production. Production is very, very important. Timber, materials, prestige. I'll spend timber and materials for prestige. That's a perfectly reasonable decision. And I want to use as much gold as possible to rush out production in my capital, because if I can shave a few turns off of things, it means the capital reaches that tipping point of being extremely powerful very quickly. The capital city is the big one, because this is the one we can't lose. We could lose other cities. Oh yes, trade agreement with Rome. Are you now willing to do an alliance next turn? Because that means I could leave my back undefended while I throw everything at the Holy Roman Empire, for example. All right, farms are coming. We've got a great food surplus at the capital. It's amazing. Let's queue up yet another farm. Build production of the capital, lose relationship. I think I'll lose the knowledge for the relationship. High relationship with tribes can be really useful. We found a lot about the world. We generated a claim in Kyoto, and each of these tiles has like some value in its own way. For example, if we expand down towards this river, this even has more food, so we could grow even harder. Building a lot of farms down here would be amazing. We could expand out here so we could start building production, because this land isn't particularly important to extract from. Kirishima or Kagoshima, we could expand over here. They're similarly good. Like, Kirishima would be a great workshop area where we could start producing materials and items. I think the growth is the thing that I should continue to focus on. Plus, this will actually get me a border with Germany, or at least closer to a border with Germany, which means, or the Holy Roman Empire rather, which will allow me to eventually declare war on them. Now, because I've reached city tier 4 in my capital, I wish this was shown somewhere in the game, we can actually get another military unit. So hitting tier 4 on your cities is quite important. We do want another city, but I think the best thing to do would be to conquer Saga. Conquer or raise Saga. I'll take the health in all my cities. I don't care if like somebody really far away has a bad opinion of me, because most of these civilizations aren't going to make it through the era. I'm going to queue up another settler here and make sure that I put it to the top of the queue. We generated a claim in Miyazaki. I'm going to grab Chukoigu. I will give this city a basket, because we can afford to give it baskets. We can't really afford to give it jewelry just yet, but it's working on some good stuff and it will be really useful. 200 gold to rush a settler out. France declared a skirmish on us. Now this is fine for us because we're actually pretty well set up to tank a skirmish war, but I will be queuing up more archers for the purpose of surviving that war. So we're in the Bronze Age now, which will unlock a whole bunch of new stuff. Swordsmen, metal, stone pits, which will allow us to harvest materials. We've got hunting camps as well as the line formation. We've got copper, we've got metal ingots. All fantastic stuff. Now, we are playing Japan. There's nothing particularly, I think, technologically important in the tech tree for us right now. I do think getting a religion is always really, really strong. So sacred rites could be really good. The other option is if there's a military unit that could be really good for us. But I don't think there are really good military units. Getting access to weaving is good because furniture can be used to get +1 city production. So this can be a great way to get early production. And remember, production is king. Production is always king. First act transition. Right, people are in the Iron Age. So when 10 players have advanced to the early Middle Ages, the act will transition, and we need to be out of the bottom 25 civilizations to survive that. I'm going to fortify with my settlers for now because I don't have a safe place to send them in case France attacks me over here on the left. Speed up this farm so that we can start producing archer stacks. Although actually, maybe we shouldn't build archer stacks. Just settle a little town right there. Here's some happiness in all of our tribes. Fortify their archer. We settled a little city. One turn that farm. We'll build a new archer to protect our capital. Miyazaki. There's two directions we can take this city. We can take it in a mass wood production city, or we can take it to be a fishing city, or we can take it to be a gold generation city. Now, I'd initially settled it with the idea of generating a lot of gold in here. We also need to make sure that we put baskets into the dwellings for the extra small amount of production. Hunting camps do generate a lot. I'm thinking maybe we build 2 logging camps, and then we look into transitioning to hunting camps. In this place, let's get started with the watchtower to protect this city. And you can also make jewelry. We will eat feasts in here. How many feasts am I making? 0.2. So unfortunately, I may have to come in here and plug some wealth in to make sure that we're making enough feasts to supply our empire. All the farms are done, so that is both a ton of growth in here. If you look at the population value, a significant amount of that growth is coming from the farms, despite the negative health of the city, but it's also just a lot of food to support the empire and the city itself. Rome just sniped a piece of land in between my 2 cities, which doesn't feel good. Let me deploy the archer into Kyoto as a defensive unit. My city is idle. I'm thinking I could plug 3 more farms in here and continue to grow really quickly. 1, 2, 3. I think growth is everything in the early game. So the longer we can get away with it, the better. Plus 10 happiness in all cities, that's amazing. We generated a claim in the capital. Kagoshima is another amazing farming zone, so we'll grab that. And we've mustered another archer in the capital. We will fortify you there. War inconclusive with France. Rome killed France, however. We generated a claim over here. Let's grab Herculaneum, because that opens up other potential claims. Poland, we will need to fight someone at some point. Like, it needs to happen. We got a new logging camp over here. That's perfect. We got some bandages, rugs and carpets. Most importantly, the furniture, which can be produced in the workshop. We will want that. I'm going to research trading because trading posts are fantastic for turning resources into gold. We got an event here, plus prestige. Perfect. We can lose some materials for a relationship with Poland. That's fine. We have plenty of resources to fuel our construction queues. The Holy Roman Empire declared war on us. Now, we are fortified, however, all right, the watchtower is coming. The city has walls. They declared a war of expansion. In terms of technology, I'm going to switch to researching. How do I switch? There we go. We're going to research catapults. Where's catapults? Well, in order to build catapults, we'll need the wheel. Let's start by researching the wheel. Military units. I don't think we can make those yet. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have no way to break walls just yet, but that's fine. We got a claim over here. Land tiles are better, so we'll just focus on grabbing land along the coast. Don't build anything for a turn. We need you to be making units. My units are fortified and defensive. We're safe. Why don't you build me a dwelling to get that production up? I think you have 2 dwellings. Make sure they both have their baskets. Holy Roman Empire Scout is running around down there. Nothing we can really do about that. We just have to accept that he's going to scuttle around and be annoying. Rome is in Canto. All right, a pair of logging camps are now cranking out an insane amount of timber in here. We can give them lithic tools to make them more productive. Let's see here. What do we got? Meteorite. Let's get this meteorite under construction with the stone pit, because that will allow us to directly extract metal from the ground without having to smelt it, and that would be amazing. I think Rome has gone to war with the Holy Roman Empire, which is great. He's forgettable, but so am I. It's okay. We will figure this out. Right, there is timber for prestige. The Jeju tribe met Korea next turn. We built another triumph. Farms are coming along. Beautiful. Dwellings are coming along. Let's queue up another one. We got the wheel, so now we can start building wheels to build catapults in the next era. Let's research sacred rites, because that is worth a little bit of technology. We have the stone pit in here now, so we're now producing metal directly, and that can be used to create swordsmen, which are a decent mid-game unit. Also, metal in general is just really useful to have. In Tohoku, I will build myself a group of 5 hunting camps whose purpose is to generate me a ton of wealth. It won't do much right now, but it will get me a lot of wealth in the long run. Okay, I definitely want cured meats in my city. I will give this city some baskets for now because it's a +1 productivity boost. But we need to get the stats of my capital up. One of the ways that we can do that is through the apothecary, which has +10 knowledge and +5 health on it. It will eventually make perfume, but we're not interested in that right now. Far more interesting to me is to get our first 2 workshops in Kagoshima up. So I'm going to do workshop, and then I'll build farms on these resources to keep the city busy. I would rather lose happiness, or I'd rather gain happiness than lose happiness. So that's just like always going to be the priority because production is king. Let's grab Pompeii. It's a slightly better region with slightly better resources. Kanto is not a particularly useful city, but it might be able to do some stuff. Always take the prestige option with the tribes because you need to hit that prestige number to survive. Poland declared a war of expansion on Kanto, but we are fortified in this city, so that's going to be hard to take it. Met another nation. Oh my god, the chaos. Look at this. Look at this madness. Can we survive the madness, bro? Okay, we got our first crafter up. Critically important that we build furniture because timber can be plugged into cities or plugged into dwellings for +1 production. So I'm going to plug timber in here to get these as fast as possible. We have a decent surplus of timber, so we can get away with that. Yeah. So that'll be the first workshop working on timber, or the furniture, rather. Okay, he pillaged over here, or it's just blocked from crafting, sadly. Let me pop up here, and I'm going to build my first swordsman that I will quick deploy with cash, just so we can have a quick reaction force. And I'm going to keep doing that every turn up here until we can build a group of 3 of them. Ideally. So I need 2 more technologies to go to the next era. Trading posts are super useful. Getting access to the monarchy would be nice too. I think I'll go for Code of Laws to get the new government type. So there's swordsmen. Yeah, I think they're pillaging, which is annoying. I mean, they're doing exactly what they want to do, right? They want to damage my economy. They want to try to bait me into a bad fight. But we got to wait until we have enough metal. In 2 turns, we will have enough. So right now, they're just pillaging our economy. But there's not much I can do to respond, because if they bait me out, my unit is going to lose that pretty badly. All right, now is the time that Miyazaki starts becoming a gold and fishing village. Stupid units are standing on this tile. Okay, let us build the 3rd swordsman that we need, deploy you to the top of the queue, and pay to instant deploy. All right, they are now fighting us on both fronts. Let's move this archer over. We will immediately begin deploying swordsmen into a line formation in Miyazaki. So we're likely to lose the battle over here, but we're likely to win the battle over here. We generated a claim in the capital too. Let's grab this tile to the right. Lithic tools. Ooh, +1 swordsman. That's a great pickup. We can replace a unit the second that we lose one of these archers. Oh, we won the war. Okay, amazing. Now instead we're just fighting Poland here, and our 2 archers are fighting their 1 spearman. So it says we'll lose in 5 turns, but that's fine, because next turn, our line infantry of deploy. You need to fortify again. They want to negotiate a withdrawal. I'm not in for that, brother. You started a fight that you couldn't win. That's not my problem. All right, let's immediately change over to a monarchy government. That's going to give us 10 security and 5 prosperity in the capital, +5 wealth for every city that we own. And we'll get a 15% happiness boost, a 10% city growth boost, and a 15% research rate boost, which is all fantastic. Immediately get my swordsman over here. That'll take a while. Can I manage roads? All right, research completed. I don't care about tanneries. The palace is useful, but I don't need it right now. I'm going to go for trading because of that money. Oh, look at all that money coming in. Ah, yes, the swordsmen have arrived. We are wrecking them. Okay, idle crafter. You are going to be building tools out of materials and timber, because tools are very useful across a variety of places. You're making furniture, good stuff. Kyoto, we need to repair all these farms. Super annoying. Let me move these new farms to the bottom of the queue. It's more important to repair things that were damaged. Oh, we can unlock the Republic early. The Republic is one of the best governments in the entire game. We're going to change our government to Republic, and we're going to get that +10 happiness in all cities. That is massive. +10 knowledge and +10 happiness in all cities, and we can go to 6 cities. So we'll be able to go to war with people. If we can continue to cling to life here. We managed to beat Poland. Get yourselves healed up. We managed to fight them off. That's huge. I'm going to move this archer back to Miyazaki to defend it. This city is idle. Build swordsman. Quick rush out that swordsman. And then we'll deploy our swordsman on the offensive. Maybe we can get a couple of pillages off. Let's make sure we start getting these horses. They're going to be extremely useful for military endeavors. You fortify to defend Miyazaki. That's perfect. This city is stunted in growth, so we're going to immediately switch it over to building fishing nets to get it growing more. We ran out of feasts, which is really bad. Let me pop into the capital. How did we run out of feasts? Okay, I see why. Let me pop in here, and I'm going to get you to kickstart a little bit of feast production to get our feet back under the table. So use a little bit of food and a little bit of gold to get a few extra feasts, which will get us up and running here. Amazing, we managed to catch an enemy unit. I sort of wish I could burn an enemy out of a tile or steal a tile for a city. So here's trade. We have access to the trading post or the bakery. So if we pillage this in, 20% chance for food and timber and stuff. So we'll go pillage that. Then we're going to go straight for ironworking because this is where we're going to be able to start getting siege units. Oh, that's a strong unit. Hopefully we can escape, bombard those losers. Woo, we're clinging on, baby. Okay, they came in to attack us. Orders were interrupted. Battle report. We did manage to do a tiny smidge of damage before they got in here. Claim was generated in this city. Let's grab the Coral Sea. And that does allow me to deploy another unit. Got a big battle happening here. I'm going to deploy my archers across my empire to help out. We outnumber them, but we're still losing, which is why I need to deploy my archers over here to help. Defeat in 6 turns still. You got interrupted by a stupid settler, that's fine. We can lose horses for a relationship boost with the Mets tribe. The farms are being built. Do we have any furniture yet? We do have a furniture, boom, up to 22 production. We're losing, we don't have enough feasts, sadly, but we're hopefully gonna have enough in the near future. This crafter getting blocked over and over by enemy troops is annoying. All right, so there's strategy codex. We have access to a whole bunch of new technologies. The most important thing is the one with catapults, siege warfare. We need that as soon as possible so that we can make catapults. Now, catapults require wheels and rope. So I'm gonna queue up some rope, get it as fast as you can, cotton, wealth, and I will queue up a wheel. We only need 1 catapult. So a single wheel and a single rope will do the job. We're losing this battle in Kanto. Let me come in here. I'm going to grab myself a swordsman. And I'm going to move him to the top. I'm going to quick deploy him so I can start deploying swordsmen next turn. The Battle of Kanto, we're winning in 2 turns. Looks like the war is over. Okay, boom. Whew. We got attacked a lot, but we made it through the wars. And we didn't even have to emergency deploy any more swordsmen. Let's keep chuching. Okay, the city of Kanto, I'm going to give them baskets to give them a slight production boost. I'll build a couple fishing nets in here to support this city. You guys all need to heal up. You return to protect Kyoto because we can't have people just running in, taking our cities when they are defenseless. My capital is now idle. It has a ton of construction done. And so now we need to start considering some important stuff, like an altar. Now I do want some wealth in here, so a trading post would be really nice. Trying to think about what would be really, really important for the long-term development of my country, of my nation, of my people. A single apothecary wouldn't be bad. In fact, multiple apothecaries would get us plenty of city knowledge. That city knowledge would be reflected in a higher science per turn, which would be fantastic. It would also give us a small boost to our health, as well as the ability to make herbal medicine, which would help us grow. Butchery shops would allow us to produce cured meats, which would be worth 10 city food, as well as some happiness. The main thing that we're looking for is happiness or the ability to expand our military. But this is definitely some sort of workshop area. Bakeries are amazing because pastries give 15 city happiness, as well as 15 city food, as well as prosperity. So I really like to build pastries, but we don't unlock these for quite a while. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself 3 apothecaries for the extra science. 1, 2, 3. I could go 4 apothecaries here. And you know what? I think I will, because the high quality of life provided by them in the capital will be extremely useful long term. Fortify all of our troops to protect our cities. City tier increased in the capital. Let's grab Tsuruga. I need to delete Saga to make room for my capital to grow. Eventually I will have to fight Rome. Where do I stand in standings? I'm pretty down low, but I only need to beat a certain number of players now. Another nation has advanced to the early Middle Ages, so we could start seeing the potential for us to die very soon, which is really quite bad. I need to take the city of Saga and grab the pyramids for myself. We'll slowly make herbal medicine in here. We'll use lithic tools and a wheel to speed up the production a little bit. So we'll get 1 herbal medicine every 8 turns, which is not too bad. The more important part of the apothecary is the extra knowledge and health, allowing the city to grow even faster. I'm going to go for the build production towards improvements. I need those improvements. So 1 more turn and then we can start building a catapult. Boom, perfect. So now we have access to catapults. I'm going to immediately come into Kyoto. We'll select our project. What happened to my wheel? I thought I built a wheel in here. I used the wheel in the apothecary. Let me pop into the apothecary and I'll take the wheel out. And now I can queue up a catapult. Top of the queue. I can't quite afford to rush it, but we can build it a lot faster. Then I can queue up some swordsmen. Swordsmen and catapults are going to be how we get out of this funk. At least that's my hope. Let's go ahead and research irrigation for the well. The well is a really good thing. Plus 10 prestige, I take it. Now, we've only got a handful of turns to get through this. Oh, we have some specialists in here. So I'm going to assign a specialist to the Great Hearth for the +5 gold. And then that'll be it for now. More triumphs being constructed elsewhere. Need this catapult finished immediately. We generated a claim in Kanto, but we have no tiles that we can claim. Okay, we have a catapult added to our queue. Let's deploy a legion. And we want to deploy a, let me see, which one is the phalanx? The shield wall. We put 3 melee units with a catapult. That way they all get a 10% combat strength bonus. And then we deploy them in Kyoto. And our goal is to replace all of our armies with this setup. So that's going to be a process that takes a while. The good news is Miyazaki, the money city, is starting to come online. We're starting to see actual returns from here, which is fabulous. So I'm going to queue up some wheels here, and then I'm going to queue up some rope here. And this will allow us to build as many catapults as we need. Did we get any more furniture? We have no more. We don't have any furniture just yet. I think we've added both furniture. Yeah, there we go. +1 furniture in here. That's +1 production. That really helps. You got a claim. I'm going to grab Shikoku because it's the only tile that we can grab. Mustering begins. So we'll be going for a war of retaliation against Germany here. Irrigation is now finished. Perfect. Let's grab this squad of line infantry. We'll move them down. We'll grab the shield wall and move them down as well. In terms of research complete, we need 3 more researchers to go to the next era. And I am going to research textiles, monument building. I guess monument building is a good one. So we're going to declare a war of retaliation against Germany, and we're going to target Saga. This will be worth up to 100 prestige, and it will cost us nothing. We'll just fortify here for a turn to see what they throw at us in retaliation. We have 50 turns to capture Saga. Let's move over a tile. I'm also going to come in here. Bowmen actually have 11 combat strength. They're twice as expensive, but they are twice as good. I'm going to queue up a bowman here. Put it to the top of the queue, and I will queue up a bowman in Kanto as well. This is just to keep these cities working on producing military for me. Yeah, so 4 people have died, which means we need to get ahead of a few more. We are going up against one of the strongest civs in the game as it currently stands, Charlemagne. He's currently top of the rankings. Let's bombard Saga. We broke the walls, but we didn't quite break the walls, if you know what I mean. Let's go to the next turn. Looks like they're attacking Kanto. It looks like they're pillaging. See if we can't catch them off guard inside our territory. They have counterattacked in our capital, which requires us to retreat attack. I don't know if I can get out of this, man. This might not go well for me. Like, I'm going up against the strongest civ, one of the stronger civs in the game, unfortunately. We do now outnumber, and we're going to win in 3 turns. But I don't know if that's enough. I will give Kyoto herbal medicine because that'll speed up the growth rate slightly. They already captured Kanto, which is worrying. Not that that's a particularly important city, but it's worrying that they could just redeploy those troops to come and get me. Yeah. It's a little worrisome. Looks like we are about to win. No matter how much they throw here, I think we've got this. The Act 1 will end in 6 turns, so I think I'm just dead here. But this was a really interesting attempt at the hardest difficulty. Let's see how we can shake out. Oh wow, I think he just deployed more units in here. My archers are not dying. Act transition in 5 turns. Okay, so Thunderdome is no joke. And I lost the ability to deploy more troops. Yeah, I think we're just dead here. Can't deploy anything. Now the city's under siege. Well, now we can deploy. But our capital is getting razed. The AI has no chill. Act 1 ends this turn, and I think that's a wrap for me. I think I'm dead. But you can kind of see why this game is so hard on a high difficulty, man. Like, we were up against it from minute 1 in the Thunderdome version. Now, I'm going to keep trying to figure out this game. Again, right, this is only like my 5th or 6th attempt at the highest difficulty with max civs. And I think if I was fighting up against someone a little bit easier, like, for example, like someone who wasn't performing quite as well as, like, Charlemagne, who was, like, the 5th most powerful civ in the entire game that round. Like, maybe if I was fighting up against Copernicus, maybe I could have had a better shot. So it really does feel like it's a bit of a dice roll when you're playing at the highest difficulty. It's a little bit absurd, but it's totally interested. Like, let me know what you think. Would you be interested in seeing me go for maybe go to 24 nations? Cut the number of nations a smidge. Maybe go to like 12 nations. I think more nations. I think the game is equally hard at high and low nation amounts. Yeah, but let me know what you think. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.